So today we'll discuss about Route 53. That's a very important topic in the AWS cloud. So Route 53 nothing but Route 53 is made with two words. Where in the networking we might be aware about the ports, correct? So the port 53, the number 53 is one of the port number in the networking domain. That is for DNS. DNS nothing but domain name service or the domain name system. That is the port number of 53. DNS port number is 53. What is the use of DNS? Domain name system or the domain name server is going to convert human readable language into machine readable language and machine readable language into human readable language. That means what is this meaning? That means converting IP address into domain names into IP address. IP address we know that's just a 10 series 10.1.5.9 like that it will be there. Okay. But what is this domain names then? Domain names are the names which are purchased and used by the vendors. For example, Flipkart.com, Amazon.com, AWS.com, Besen.com. Like this, the names we're gonna use, right? Those all are domain names only. Those all are domain names only. Okay, that means any website you can take. Google.com. Google.com is a website. But behind the website IP address will be there. When you search google.com, internally it will convert that name into IP address and IP address into names. That's the Route 53. Before we begin with Route 53, it is important that we need to understand what is DNS. DNS stands for Domain Name Service. DNS stands for Domain Name Service. If you have used internet, then you have used DNS. DNS is used to convert human-friendly domain names into internet protocol addresses. IP addresses are used by computers to identify each other on the network. IP addresses commonly came in two forms. So one is IPv4, another one is IPv6. So IPv6 was created to solve the depletion issue. I mean, if you see, IPv4 is a 32-bit address space. IPv4 is 32-bit address space. To solve the depletion, 4 billion different addresses will get. IPv6 was created to solve the depletion issue and an address space of 128 bits, which is theory in 340 undecillion IP addresses. Nothing but remember, guys, there are two types will be there. One is IPv4, IPv6. If you think about IPv4, 32-bit is there, 4 billion addresses will be getting. But IPv6, if you think about, there will be getting 128-bit address. That means 340 undecillion IP addresses you will get. Okay. Route 50 is highly available and scalable domain name service, DNS web service. You can use Route 53 to perform three main functions. One is domain registration. Your website needs a name such as example.com. Route 53 lets you register a name for your website or application. Now one is a domain name. Then DNS routing. When a user opens a web browser and enter your domain name example.com, a subdomain example.com in address bar. So Route 53 helps to connect to the browser with your website or your application. Health checking. Route 50 sends automated request over the internet to a resource such as web server to verify that is reachable, available, and functional. Then how domain registration works. If you want to create a website or a web application, you start by registering the name of your website known as a domain name. Your domain name is a name such as example.com that your users enter into the browser to display your website. You choose a domain name and confirm it is available, meaning that no one else was registered the domain name that you want. For example, flipkart.com is already registered name. Same flipkart.com name, can you able to take, other can I able to take? It's not allowing me to take because this name is already reserved. Then you register the domain name such as Route 53. When you register a domain name, so you provide name and contact information for the domain owner and contact details also. Like when you're purchasing, right? It asks the details, it will going to provide the details. When you register a domain name with the Route 53 service, automatically makes it helps with the DNS. So by doing the following, create a hosted zone that has same name as your domain, assigns a set of 4 name servers to the hosted zone. When someone uses a browser to access your website, such as www.example.com, those names answers tell the browser where to find your resources, such as web server or S3 bucket. gets the name servers from hosted zone and adds them to the domain. At the end of the registration process, we send your information to the registrator for the domain. The domain register is either Amazon Registrator Incorporation or our registrator associate. The register stands for your information to the registry for the domain. Registry is a company that sells domain registrations for one or more top level domains such as .com. The registry stores the information about your domain in their own database and also stores some of the information in the public whos database. If you already registered a domain name with another registrator, you can choose to transfer the domain registration to Route 53. Okay, like this. Look at this diagram. This will going to give some clear idea. Here the end user, like you guys, when you open your browser and when you type www.google.com in the or example.com in the browser, then it will go to DNS resolver. Once the DNS resolver receives this particular domain, I mean the website name, this will third step you can see that will check it on the DNS root name server. DNS root name server. The DNS root name server will go to the name server for .com TLD. TLD means top level domain names. That means .com, .in, .co, .in. Those are the top level domain names. The first step again will be searching on the name server for .com TLD. Then where is the .com TLD present in the Route 53? Go to Route 53 name server. Then AWS Amazon Route 53 name server checking. Then there you have registered the domain name with the IP address like this 182 some IP address you given. Then at the end it's sent this to DNS resolver. But DNS resolver sent to the computer. But computer cannot print the output in a IP address format because you requested a name format, the output also should be printed in the names format only. Then again, you can look at the eighth step. It will be sent back to web server for .com TLD. Then that is internally converted that the DNS will internally converted that IP address into a domain name. Finally, you can see the website output in the browser. This all the drastical things will happen in a seconds or the milliseconds. That's the significance of Route 53. Then where you can purchase the domain? You can purchase the domain in where is that? GoDaddy, Ostinger, like this multiple websites are there. There we can purchase the domain name. Okay, any questions, guys? Any questions?
So in industries, they are not yet implemented IPv6, correct? Still, they are using IPv4 itself.
Sir, IPv6 also there, but for this websites wise, IPv4 only there. IPv6 is not there.
Okay, sir. Okay, okay. Where they are implementing, sir? Come back once again about IPv6.
IPv6 in the laptop they'll implement, sir. For IPv address, IP address is required for laptop, right?
Correct. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Place IPv6 will be used, sir. Networking devices. Okay, but internal web servers will be there. Websites will be there. Like we created EC2 instance, right? Like Docker server, Jenkins server we created, right? Those places IPv4 only there. I mean, there
Okay.
also we can implement IPv6, but it's conversion and those things quite difficult. Not yet implemented those. That's the reason still people are using IPv4 only.
Okay, sir. Okay, okay. Got it, got it.
Route 53 supports the following types of domain name registration. Two types of things are there. One is generic top level domains, GTLD, generic top level domains. Generic top level domains are the global extensions that are used and recognized around the world, such as .com, .net, .org, like that. But geographic top level domains also there. Like the following domain extensions are grouped by geographically and include official country code specific extensions. The one is CCDLD, that is country code level top level domains. Explains the examples include like that include .be Belgium, in India, .ms Mexico, .us, like that. The rules for the registration of the CCTLDs may vary by country. Some countries are unrestricted. That means meaning that anyone in the world can register their country code, while others have some certain restrictions such as residency. That means if you're in that country, then only you can able to use that particular code. Then what are the domain registers there? A domain registrar is a company that registered the reservation of the internet domain names. The domain name register must be accredited by a generic top level domain GTLD registry at a country code top level domain CCTLD registry. Because all of the names in a given domain name have to be unique, there needs to be a way to organize that all the domain names are not duplicated. This is the domain registrar command. A registrar is an authority that can assign domain names directly under the one or more top-level domains. Those domains are registered with the inter-NIC, a service of ICNN, which enforces uniqueness of the domain names across the internet. Each domain name becomes registered in a central database known as WHOIS database. Popular domain register called GoDaddy, Hostinger, Bluehost, Route 53. These are the very popular people will be there to make this. Then hosted zone, next one. Hosted zone is a container for a records, and records contain the information about how you want to route the traffic to a specific domain, such as example.com and its subdomain tested example.com. A hosted zone then corresponding domain name have to be same name. There are two types of hosted zones. One is public hosted zone, private hosted zone. Remember this is important. Public hosted zone, private hosted zone. Public hosted zone means contains the records that specify how you want to route the traffic on the internet. That means outside world how people can access. Private storage zone contains the records that specify how do you want to route the traffic in the Amazon VPC. Then SOA, start of authority record will be there. Name servers, NS records will be there. Then A record, IP address record, CNAME canonical name record, alias means pet name record, routing policies. So this is the routing policies are important. Simple routing, weighted routing, failover geolocation routing, geo proximity, latency, multi-value answer. Some in the interview they'll ask what are the routing protocols are there in the Route 53. You need to name this seven: simple, weighted, geo failover, geo proximity, geolocation, latency, and along with multi-value answer. Okay. Let me show the practical for this, but unfortunately full practical I could not able to complete, guys. The reason behind that will be like I don't have a domain name. Domain name is not free, you need to purchase, but I'll just show the options how it looks like. Okay. Reliable way to route the users to internet application. That's Amazon Route 53. What are the things we can do means this is the things we can able to do it in the Route 53. Domain names. A domain name is the name such as example.com that your users use the access your application. Hosted zones. Specify how you want to route 53 to respond to DNS queries for a domain such as example.com. Health checks. Monitor your application and web resources and direct DNS queries to health resources. Then traffic flow. Use the visual tool to create policies for multiple endpoints in a complex configurations. Then resolver, route DNS queries between your VPCs and your network. Okay, these are the features we have. These are the use cases we have. For an example, here, if I go to dashboard, can you guys able to see DNS management, traffic management, availability monitoring, domain registration? These are things we can able to do with Route 53. If at all I want to purchase a domain, if at all I want to purchase a domain, domain registration is domain is a name such as example.com that your users use to access your application. I won't purchase, but I'll show that option. Register domain. Then we can give some name. For example, Besantech. I want a domain name with this name. Besantech.com is not available because already people purchased that. Then besantech.net is there. How much cost? $15 US per year. Per year you need to pay this much. Besantech ORG is there, $14. Besantech.io is there, $71. This all are per year cost. BesantechSolutions.com, $14. Besant-tech.com, $14. Okay, like this the cost will be varies. You can see here pricing for domain names varies by top level domain names TLD such as .com and .org. This could be the cost. .academy $13, actor $41, adult 107, agency 26, Air Force, Army, associates, apartments. Like this the names will be different. So if in case you want to purchase means you can select and you can proceed. Proceed to checkout is there. Right? Registration free displayed for 1 year and you can change the duration on the next page. How many years you want, that many years you can purchase, but you need to pay the amount. Okay, that's the use of registering a domain. Even GoDaddy also we can purchase. Then DNS management. In case you already have the domain name, you want to convert IP address into domain names, then we can use DNS management. Hosted Zone tells how Route 53 to how to respond to DNS queries for a domain such as example.com. Let me show that. Create hosted zone. Here we need to give the domain name. Maybe I'll give besant-tech.com. Then I'll say public domain, public hosted zone. Then name, create. I have created now. If you guys look at NS means name server, SOM is start of authority. Now name server given 4 values like this. These values I need to add. These values I need to add. Where we need to add these values? These values should be provisioned in the where you purchase the domain. If you purchase from AWS means in the Route 53 we need to go and we need to add. Or else GoDaddy means in the GoDaddy account we need to go and we need to add these 4 values in the domain name. Okay. Once done that, then we have a create record option is there. Here you can create a URL. For example, Besantech. Besantech already there, right? We can give some value. DevOps.besantech.com. Okay. Then here you can see these are the values I'm talking about. A record, route traffic to an IP address, IA, IPv6 address, CNAME, canonical name, MX, makes mail exchange record, TX, text record, PTR. Register things are there. People use A record and we need to give the IP address. What IP address we can give here? Maybe the private IP, public IP, any one of the IP we can able to paste here like this and detail seconds. Time to live. The amount of time the website is live on the browser. That is a TTL we call it as. We can take that and this is the routing policies. The 7 routing policies which we discussed, right? Those are here. Simple routing, nothing but only one server is there. You want to route the traffic. Simple records use standard DNS functionality. Then weighted records let you specify what portion of the traffic sent to the each resource. Then geolocation. Geolocation records let you route traffic to your resources based on the geographic location of your users. Like our website is there in India, but we are getting the users from US, UK, Sydney, America, like that. Then latency. Latency records let you route the traffic to resources in the AWS region that provides the lowest latency. All resources must be in a AWS regions. Then IP-based records that you route the traffic to the resources based on the IP address of that you know. Then failover the records that will let you route traffic to the resources when your resource is healthy or a different resource when the first resource is unhealthy. Then multi-value answer records that you configure to return the multiple values such as IP address or your web servers are responsible for DNS queries. Then last one, geo proximity records let you configure Route 53 to route traffic to your resources based on the geographic location of your users. and your resources. Like this we can select and we can able to create. If I create the record, then what I can do means the name what I given, right? That is my domain name. This is the name. I want to check this name in the browser. That's it. If I check this name in the browser, I'll get the page. But when I purchase the domain, but I didn't purchase the domain. That's the reason you can see DNS Pro finished domain is getting up. That means I don't have any domain with this name. If I have this, straight up I can check this. But remember, guys, this is a name, but this name is working with this particular IP. That means internally it will going to convert. That's the significance of the Route 53. Any questions? The main purpose of Route 53 will be because people easily can remember the names, not the IP address. Correct. That's the reason we'll be using these names. Okay, let me remove the things because it's not free. The Route 53 is not free. So I want to remove this. Select, delete, delete. Then I can remove this hosted zone also because these are costly. For practice purpose only I shown for you guys. In case if you guys have any domain name, if you purchased at any time, you can let me know. I can show the practical how we can integrate your domain name with this in the Route 53. Okay. Let me know, guys, if any questions or confusions. That's about the Route 53, guys. Very simple topic. Nothing is there. I think almost services I covered that. There is nothing is pending in the AWS side. If I can go back and if I refer, almost all the services are covered up with respect to the things wise. Okay, so we need to do one project. So one hands-on project I'll gonna share with you guys. You guys also can also do one project, and I'm also going to share I'm also going to do one project, but not right now. After completing the DevOps class, because one tool is the Terraform tool in the DevOps. After we learn the Terraform, then I'm going to show that. So the AWS project, I mean, how we can utilize Terraform to create a AWS. Then I'm going to show that. Okay. Okay. If no questions, then we'll wind up here, guys. This is our last class of AWS. So we need to take the mock interview, guys. So I hope already I shared all the documentation related to AWS related stuff and also Linux also. Do one thing. This weekend we'll be taking the mock interview for Linux. This Saturday we'll take the mock interview for Linux. Next Saturday we'll take the mock interview for AWS. Okay. So please prepare well on the conceptual wise. Okay. With respect to Linux interview questions, the concepts what you covered up and everything you can prepare. What is the purpose of this mock interview? Nothing. But so if I take the mock interview and if you guys cleared up the mock interview, you will get a confidence that so I'm not sure when you guys attended the interview, real interview. Okay, there could be a usual gap will be there, so you might be forgetted that how the interview looks like and the interference will be there, that will go away. Okay, so if suppose I ask the questions, if you could not able to answer these questions, right, no problem. You focus one more time, you read the things one more time, next time will take one more time. Okay, until you gain some knowledge, until you know that some certain things, then only we can able to provide some references for the organizations, companies. Okay, for that purpose only I'll be taking the mock interview. So this Saturday we'll take the mock interviews as per your guys availability time only. I'll book the things and we'll take the interview. Okay, any questions? Okay, if no questions, then we'll wind up here. We'll catch up on tomorrow. Thank you.